Hello, welcome to Cindy Show.
Yes, welcome to the Cindy Show with Lily and Rosie. Today we're going to review the 2011 A Princess for Christmas, starring Katie McGrath and Sam Heughan. This is a pretty fun Hallmark Christmas romance about a woman named Jules, who takes care of her niece and nephew, Maddie and Milo. They're pretty young. She's their guardian because her brother-in-law and sister, their parents passed away. So she's kind of a makeshift mother, looking after them. And she's really struggling. She loses her job. She gets fired at the beginning of the film, and then she crashes the car. So they're really struggling, and then a stranger invites them to Castleberry, where their grandpa lives, who happens to be a duke. So they decide to go to Castleberry and spend Christmas with the duke. And she meets the duke's son, Prince Ashton, and they get to know each other and kind of start to fall in love.
So this movie is very near and dear to our hearts. This is one of the very first movies that we watched together growing up. I think we watched like a pirated version on YouTube.
Yeah.
So the movie came out in 2011, so that was a while ago.
Yeah.
But fun fact, both Sam Heughan and Katie McGrath got the most inspirational television acting. They got nominated for that in 2011. So they did a really good job.
Yeah, they did. I liked the actors that they picked for them. They both did a really good job. Katie McGrath, her character Jules, she's one of my favorite Cinderellas because the way she treats people throughout the story, the movie, is so beautiful. She's so kind to them. Which is really similar to the 2015 Disney's version, Midnight Masquerade, Enchanted, where there's this really heavy theme of kindness from the Cinderella figure. And this movie had a really good message where people who are hurting will hurt other people, but it's because something happened or they're going through something that is making them hurt the people around them. An example of this is the Duke is pretty grumpy and doesn't treat people very well, but Katie's kindness towards him and also towards a servant who's also a bit of a grump kind of breaks through, and they end up completely changing because of the way she treats them and her kindness to them.
Yeah, and there's, like you were saying, the 2015 Cinderella, have courage and be kind, is kind of like a tagline for that one. And so, this movie is not technically a Cinderella movie, but we are including it because there are so many things that are similar to a Cinderella movie. Jules is pretty poor, she needs money, there's ball scenes, and...
Yep, she falls for a prince. She tries to run away from the ball before the ball actually happens, and then is convinced to come back. She goes to the ball with an amazing dress that the servants get for her, and she has the iconic staircase entrance scene. And then, of course, at the end, they ride off in a carriage in their wedding clothes. She never loses a shoe, and she doesn't have a step family, but everything else screams Cinderella. One of my favorite scenes in Cinderella movies is the ball entrance scene. And this has that iconic shot where she pauses at the top of the stairs and then descends as everyone looks up at her. And I that's one of my favorite scenes in all the Cinderella movies that include it. Because I think there's so much symbolism in that shot where she's not wealthy. She's poor, but she's wearing something beautiful. But throughout the movie, you see her inner beauty. And the beautiful dress she's wearing just it shows her inner beauty and just kind of shows what's on the inside.
Yeah.
And it captivates the prince and the audience, and it just gives her her moment, and you're like, yes, give her her moment. She deserves it. I love that.
Yeah, so in our last video where we reviewed Roger and Hammerstein's version, there were some GIFs in there that compared the 2015 version when she descends the stairs to the Roger and Hammerstein version when she descends the stairs. So it's a very Cinderella iconic thing of like watching her descend the stairs. That's pretty prominent and a big part of the thing.
Pretty popular in Cinderella movie adaptations. Which, speaking of which, there is a movie called A Prince for Christmas, which uses the same castle in its movie. It's pretty funny. It was definitely paying tribute to A Princess for Christmas, because a woman comes to the castle, falls for a prince, goes to a ball, they fall in love, they dance, and it has the exact same shot that's used in this movie, where she pauses at the top of the stairs and descends down on a red carpet. Which, well, we may review that movie sometime, but it's very, very similar, which was fun. Yeah.
Basically, the only thing they didn't do with this movie is label it a Cinderella one. They did everything else.
Everything else.
I mean, I guess there wasn't a fairy godmother.
True. Although the servants kind of, because they bring her the dress. She doesn't have a dress to wear at the ball, and they bring it to her. So it was kind of like, oh, that's so cute.
There's a certain scene where we call it the funky dance scene. So Jules is showing the prince kind of what it's like to kind of loosen up a bit. And so they have this funky dance scene, and it's so Jules's niece and nephew, they get the choice of like a hobby to take on while they are there with the Duke. And so Milo chooses electric guitar. And then what's the little girl's name?
Maddie.
Maddie, yeah. She chooses ballet. So in this scene, it shows Maddie with her ballet teacher and Milo with the electric guitar teacher. And then they do like a dance off kind of thing with Jules and the prince. And it's just hilarious because they're just like, dancing around. And then Lady Arabella, she comes in and she's like the fiance wannabe, okay?
Of the prince.
And, yes. And so she comes in and she turns off the music and she's like, well. And then she calls it ghetto dancing or something.
Ghetto,
Yeah. So that is our favorite scene. That's our favorite scene. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to find it on YouTube and just watch that scene.
Jules is so funny.
Yeah.
And she's so quirky too.
Yeah. She so at the beginning she is working at an antique shop and she's really good at what she does. Like she sold something right there when at the beginning she sells something to somebody. And then her boss just has to let her go because he doesn't have money to keep her on. But she's really good at what she does. She's really good at recognizing antiques. And so she recognizes antiques. That's another scene where Lady, how is her name?
Arabella.
Yeah, Lady Arabella and her brother are there, and the prince is there, and they're having a little gathering. And so Jules comes and looks underneath one of the antiques and sees who it's by, and she guesses who it is and everything. And it's just a really cute scene.
I like Jules' quirkiness, and mixed with her kindness. She's just such a fun person. She's great. This is a great Christmas movie. Great Christmas Cinderella movie. We decided to rate this one a 7.5 out of 10. And we've given a couple other of our movies that we've reviewed a 7.5 also.
Yeah, so there's a couple others that we gave this higher rating. The 2004 A Cinderella Story, and the 2016 A Cinderella Christmas. So both of those had, I would say, probably a bit higher budget. Like, even though this one was in a castle and everything, which is huge and everything, but the cast and the budget, I think, for those other two movies was a little higher. But we still really appreciate this movie. And like I said in the beginning, this movie is dear to our hearts because we watched this when we were a lot younger and we loved it.
Yeah.
So we're giving this a 7.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And not every Cinderella movie has a good message. But the message that this one has, that kindness and grace are never wasted.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, really good message.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a little early to say Merry Christmas, but Merry Christmas.
No, Merry Christmas. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what Cinderella movie adaptation you would like us to review next in the comments.
Bye, guys.
Bye.